What if optimizing your metabolism was the key to unlocking your best life? Welcome to the Life Possible podcast, where we bring you cutting-edge insights, real-life transformations, and powerful strategies to help you win the fight against obesity and metabolic disease. Join host Dr. John Barnes as he explores the science and stories of transformational metabolic health, because when you fuel your body right, you unlock your greatest potential. From leading experts in nutrition and wellness to inspiring success stories, this is your go-to resource for education, motivation, and empowerment on your journey to a healthier, more vibrant life. Your best life isn't just possible, it's within reach. Let's make it happen together. Here's your host, Dr. John Barnes.
Hey, Ideal Protein Nation, how are you? Man, I know it's been a while since we've been on. Lots of stuff going on, but lots of really great stuff going on. I hope that you were with us with Ideal Protein a couple of weeks ago when they did their Facebook Live. It was an amazing event. I was so honored. It was such a great time to be a part of it. Reunited with all my friends on Facebook Live. If you have not seen that, you need to go to the Ideal Protein official Facebook page and find the recording of the Feel Great Fall live event. It was super, super cool. But let's get the Life Possible podcast back up and running, right? Let's do this thing. So for those of you who might be new to the show and are not sure what the show is all about, I just wanted to let you know who I am and why I created this show. My name is Dr. John Barnes, and I tell you, there is no easy way to put it, but back in 2015, I found myself fat, sick, and depressed. And you know what? The worst part of it was I didn't see a way out. I had ruined what I thought was an unbreakable metabolism, and I had no concept that I had actually driven my metabolism to insulin resistance. I thought I was stuck gaining weight and I wasn't ever going to be able to lose weight until I truly believe God brought me the Ideal Protein Protocol, not just as an answer to my personal prayers, but also my professional prayers. Today, I'm living a life that is healthy, vibrant, and alive. I run an Ideal Protein clinic, pretty much retired from chiropractic. And that picture on the right there is me at the age of 54 running a half Ironman distance triathlon. The guy on the left had a hard time walking upstairs. The guy on the right went 70.3 miles swimming, biking, and running. And this truly proof that the Ideal Protein Protocol can reset what's possible for your life. In other words, can give you a shot at living your life possible. So who do we have today? Oh my goodness, I am so excited. We're taking the show back to spotlighting an amazing transformation. Someone who has used the Ideal Protein Protocol to absolutely transform her life. And there's a little twist on this one today because in keeping with the times, our guest today is Rachell Powell. And Rachell Powell did Ideal Protein up at a clinic in Fairbanks, Alaska. Yes, there is Ideal Protein in Fairbanks, Alaska. At a friend of mine, Dylan, Dylan's clinic up there is called Ideal Health. And she did it, though, also by combining GLP-1 medication with the Ideal Protein Protocol. So that's going to be a theme for us today because so many people are asking about this. And she is here to tell you that it is absolutely a winning combination. I can't give away the whole show. Let's just bring her out. Where are you, Rachell? Come on. Hey, Rachell.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome. It's another beautiful day in Alaska. We got some snow today. Can you believe it? Oh, the white
Okay.
stuff is back.
That's where I was going next. All right. I was going to say, have you had snow yet? It's
We have.
October 2nd. Is
Yeah.
today your first or is it
No, we had some
when?
snow before, but this one actually stuck to the ground. So hopefully
Yeah.
it'll disappear by the end of the day.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And again, you have to expect it because you live
Yes,
in Alaska, right?
absolutely.
But wow. Tell me, Fairbanks, Alaska, how did you get to Fairbanks, Alaska in the first place? Were you born
Oh my
there?
goodness. Yeah, no, I was born in Virginia, actually.
There she is, Virginia girl.
I am a Virginia girl. Virginia's for lovers. And so,
Absolutely.
so I went to Wainwright. I was stationed at Fort Wainwright. I came here through military, and
Okay.
yeah, and what people in Alaska call it, and what we call is I'm kind of an implant. I was
There you go.
implanted here. And so
Yep.
I came here, got stationed here back in 2000. I was an Army nurse, slash also I was a Army medic.
Oh,
And I did medical since I was 18 years old,
yeah.
nursing, medical. And I got out and I decided to stay in Alaska. And I said, you know what?
Wow.
Fairbanks is absolutely the place for me. The rhythm, the people, the weather. I kind of like the cold better than the heat, even though I was
Yeah.
born in
Okay.
hot
Well,
Virginia.
you would have to, right? I mean, you would absolutely have to, right?
Mhm, that's right.
Yeah, well, Rachel, first off, let me thank you for your service.
Well, thanks.
Absolutely wonderful for doing that.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny. I went to chiropractic school and I found myself up in upstate New York,
Ah,
and we wanted to get the hell out of there because I did not like the snow and did not like the cold. So that's why I'm
oh,
back in
mhm.
Virginia,
Yeah.
right? Oh my gosh! But if you like it, I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
I also, do you have any stories about bears?
No, the only thing I remember is when we were pregnant. I mean, well, I was pregnant, you know, the kids and us traveled the Alpine Highway, and they told us don't play with the bears. And the kids and I was in the vehicle traveling, and my ex at the time, my husband at the time, decides that he wants to take an apple or some food out of the car and feed the brown bear. And I say,
Oh
"Did
dear
I get
God.
the warning?" So he goes like a knucklehead, we call it. He
That's the
goes and
kind term.
yeah, it is a kind term. He goes and tries to feed this bear, and when I tell you he was running, and the thing is the bear didn't even run after him. He didn't even care about him, but he was running because the
Yeah,
bear
yeah,
turned
yeah.
around and looked at him and
Sure.
thought that he was going to charge him. But do not feed the wildlife, okay?
Oh my God. Well, I tell you what, I need you to ask Dylan when you get a chance about his fish and his bear story.
I'm gonna have to ask
Um,
him.
I met Dylan in person at a Ideal Protein event, and he told this story that was just, it was hilarious. So
I got
you
to
have to
hear it.
ask him like, hey Dylan, Dr. Barnes wanted me to ask you about your bear
Exactly.
story.
I need to know it. I need to hear it. That's right. I need a good laugh.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a great show. I love doing these shows of personal transformation, especially through
Mhm,
Ideal Protein. So I want to start kind of back at the beginning. And said,
mhm,
like I said, we talked on Tuesday, a pre-interview, and I told you, I was the 98-pound weakling when I was in high school, and
mhm.
all the things. So what has been your personal history with weight?
The personal history with weight was starting off joining the army at 18 years old, and them telling me that I was, after losing all of that weight, basic training, and then getting to my duty station, telling me that I was still fat. That
Wow.
they used the word overweight.
Yes, they
You're,
did. I
you're
know.
overweight, and I'm
Okay.
like, I'm in the best shape of my life. What do you
Right.
mean I'm 18 and overweight? So it was miserable. They pulled out the tape measure.
I was just gonna say, so that's what they do, right? So if you don't meet the
Mhm,
standard, then they
mhm.
tape you, and they've
They
got some
did.
kind of archaic formula
It was,
to
and it was
figure out
perfect
what
'cause
you're
yep, and I was pure muscle.
right.
I didn't hardly any fat on me, and so I passed every single time. They
And
just went by yeah, go ahead.
and
Mhm,
so see, I told you I'll call timeout
mhm,
because I really want people to understand this, and
mhm.
I still don't quite understand the logic behind it because there's a stigma associated with having to get taped, right?
Yeah, mhm, it is.
And for me, it just speaks to the difference between BMI and body fat percentage. And
Absolutely.
And with the idea being that BMI is inaccurate for people who have more muscle on their body than we would expect them to have. And
Correct.
that's why both in your clinic and in my clinic,
Mhm.
we've got a fancy scale that shows us and calculates our body. There it is, the in body in the background there. Love it. And
Mhm,
so it calculates out our body fat percentage because
mhm.
BMI is so inaccurate for athletes or people with more muscle than we would expect. And
Correct.
I had a client, same situation. She came in and she was, doc, you got to help me lose weight. And I looked at her body fat percentage and I looked at her and I said, what, are you joking? And
Right.
she's like, no,
Mhm.
I'm trying to get into the Coast Guard Academy and there's,
Correct.
I don't want to have to be taped and all the things. I'm
Mhm.
like, here's the deal, right?
Mhm.
If I'm in a foxhole with you, right?
Yes.
Or I'm in a foxhole with some skinny person who's of weight, right? I
Mhm.
want you because
Right?
you've got the muscle. You're going to be able to drag me out of there if, I'm unconscious and I can't do it myself. It's
Correct.
ridiculous.
Yes, and I was very strong. I maxed out my PT tests, always got 300 plus. Matter of fact, somebody stood up for me. It's like, she's not getting taped. She just maxed the PT test and she ran
Right.
laps around all of the guys. And the sergeant major came out and he said, look here, we can't change what's black and white. She's going to have to get taped, whether you like it or not. And that's what he did. I had to go in there and get taped. I was young, so I had to do what they told me to do, but I
Right. Of
passed it.
course.
The
Of
good
course
thing
you
was is
did.
that I passed it, but it was still heartbreaking
Yep.
after running and maxing out and being in good shape, and then somebody says you you're overweight.
Yeah.
And in my mind, as a young lady, young girl,
Right.
I'm
Right.
thinking I'm fat.
Yep.
Mom, they said I called my mom crying. Mom, they said I was fat.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
fat, Mom. I went through all
Uh,
of this and I'm fat.
yeah.
So
Right.
that was how it started. And then the army keeping me always accountable because if you're overweight, you don't pass your PT test, you don't get promoted. You don't move
Hmm.
up in rank, you don't move up in status. So constantly I'm always nervous about how much I weigh, how much
Yeah.
I eat. And so for 10 years, that's all I thought about was my
Wow.
weight,
Wow.
exercising. And so it doesn't shock you that when I found um, that after I got out of the military and had all my children, that the weight was harder to get off
Yep.
because I didn't have that steady um, accountability and structure that the
Right.
military offered. PT every morning, work every day. As soon as you
Yeah.
become a civilian, you don't have the exercise and you don't have the structure, or you don't have to pass a PT test
Right.
to get,
Right. Right.
or test or measurement to get promoted.
Yeah.
You're a senior now, and the weight just started coming on. And I said, I just cannot live like this. I cannot. I went to nursing school. I gained a lot of weight in college. I was like, gosh, I'm getting bigger and bigger. I started to get into my 200s. I've never seen 200s. And then I started getting 220, it's like the numbers just kept coming. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to get out of this madness.
Yeah.
Well,
And I also want to
mhm,
bring out another point.
mhm,
We hear a lot as Ideal
mhm.
Protein coaches and Ideal Protein clinic owners, we hear women a lot of times tell us a very similar story. You know
Yes.
what, doc? I hadn't had a weight problem before. I was an
Mhm,
athlete and man, I got pregnant.
mhm.
And, whether it was the first or the second or the third child,
Correct.
there's one of them that they don't bounce back from.
And that was my last one.
And so what's fascinating is it's not a mystery as to why this happens. And so technically, I do like to always bring this up. You know, what the Ideal Protein program does is it effectively reverses a condition called insulin resistance.
Yes. Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
And insulin resistance actually most often is a metabolic dysfunction. It's a
mhm,
metabolism that's broken and not working right.
mhm,
However, one of the very few times that it is naturally occurring and that it is supposed to happen is during pregnancy.
mhm.
So women uh, will get insulin resistance for that pregnancy, and it promotes growth at that time.
Correct.
And it just kind of depends on afterwards, nutritionally, what they do, et cetera,
Mhm,
whether they bounce back and get out of it, or
mhm.
whether now their body adopts it and they just continue on. And
Yeah.
so it's truly, it's not a surprise why this
Mhm,
happens. This is
mhm,
something that people need to be aware of
mhm.
and understand. And as you know, we don't want to necessarily overindulge in carbohydrates during pregnancy,
Correct.
particularly after pregnancy when your body wants to get out of insulin resistance naturally,
Mhm.
because it might lead to a lifetime problem.
Correct. And it's totally makes sense scientifically, especially from a woman's standpoint, because we were meant to reproduce. Our
Right.
bodies were meant to reproduce, have children, have weight on it. We were meant to have cushion and extra fat on us so that we can feed our children so that it won't take away from our bodies. That's what we were built to do. However,
Yeah.
tr- going back and transitioning into the body that we used to be pre-pregnancy, it is a lot.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I believe sometimes they call women over 32, don't quote me, geriatric pregnancies because
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forget what the
Mhm,
age is, but yeah, you're
it's an
right. Keep
age
going.
correct
Hmm.
because with as you age, you don't fall back, you don't get back into your right shape as you get older. So what my theory and what they call it geriatric is that hey, it's best if you get pregnant early on. The body has a
Yeah.
tendency to go back to normalcy in your teens, early 20s, before
Yeah.
your 30s. But, you know,
Right.
hey,
I forget who it was, but I had somebody
mhm,
say, "Oh my God, they called me a geriatric pregnancy," and
yes,
she was in her 30s.
they called me with the same thing. I was a
Yeah.
geriatric pregnancy at
Wow.
32, 33. I was like,
Wow.
what? Geriatric who?
Yeah. I know, right? Well, and again, I do want to remind people because I love this about you that you do have this medical background. You were actually a combat nurse when you
I was a
were.
combat nurse, yes, and then they
Yeah.
sent me back to school to become an EMT. So I ended
Oh,
up getting my
fantastic.
EMT, BI, and paramedic. They were both, the hardest one was paramedic. But what was great about being a paramedic is that it was able to get me enough information to become an RN because a lot of paramedics pretty much do, to me, more than what an RN do because we have to do it on the
Yeah.
fly.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but the difference between an EMT and a nurse, nursing, we have to have the bedside mannerism. We have to
Got
assess,
it. Right.
and
Right.
we got to slow down and assess. When you're an EMT, we need to get. We're gonna
You
assess, but we're
need.
doing it quickly. Okay,
Yep.
we're coming up with a nursing plan and so forth.
Yeah.
So it was hard for
Yeah.
me in nursing school to switch, but I made it, and I love it. I love being able to see the world of a fast pace, on the fly, um, treating injured soldiers and civilians. To now I'm in the hospital setting, and now I'm treating patients on a med surge inside of a hospital and having good bedside mannerism. I've always been a friendly person.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
it
can
used to
tell.
get me in trouble though, but because I had to go to my other patients, and they was like, "Rachel, can you talk for a few more minutes?" I said, "No, I gotta go.
I know, right?
I'm
Right.
talking too much."
Yeah, yeah. I hear
Yes,
you.
but I loved it, and now I take care of elderly people. Elderly Alzheimer's dementia is what I do now, and
Yeah.
it is most definitely a different world.
Yeah.
And the elderly, um, is a different zone to pay attention to, the how the body goes from being youthful and strong to now it's going back to being a baby again, where you need
Yeah.
help and assistance, where you need
Yep.
somebody to help you with all things in life, like as if you were a child again.
Yep.
And then to see the mind
Yeah.
deteriorate, the memory, the loss of autonomy, the loss of the ability to perform daily activities. Um, it's,
Yeah.
it's hard to see. It's been
Yeah.
emotional for me with the Alzheimer's dementia.
Yeah, I'm sure, and God bless you for doing that work. And
Mhm.
personally, for me, that's been a journey that I'm on right now,
Yes.
with my father
Mhm.
and the people that work with him and for him. I'm so grateful for the work that they do, because, like you said, it's absolutely not easy.
It's not.
Um,
Mhm.
One of the other things, and we're going to bring this around as we're
Mhm.
we're talking about the ideal protein and losing weight and getting metabolically healthy,
Yes.
because there are a lot of things that we can do. I kind of feel like everybody should do a week's rotation at a nursing home or a rehab hospital, just so that they
I
can
agree.
see, right, like
Yes.
the end result of the
Mhm.
decisions they're making now,
Correct.
right?
This is what's going to happen.
Metabolically, this is where we're heading, right?
I
And
agree. Mhm.
maybe it would help some people make some better decisions.
You
So
know, I had told you about healing,
yeah,
and how I met Dylan and how I came to this because of my weight. And why I chose Ideal program is because my weight was out of control,
Yeah.
and I needed to take care of my clients. I'm down to one, but I said I cannot continue to be at this weight and take care of the clients. I had ended up having iron deficiency, and I started to notice that I was lack of energy. I said,
Yeah.
what is wrong with me? Come to find out, I was critically dangerously low. I
Oh,
went and had
wow.
blood tests done. He said, Rachel, you need to go to the emergency room right now. You need to go right now to the emergency room. And I said, for what? He said, you need iron. And I said, okay, I'll go and do it right away. And short than anything, they gave me, I had to do it five, every other day, 5 treatments. And
Wow.
I didn't feel that much better. So I ended up having to have surgery. And that was the most
Wow.
amazing decision I ever made, was having that surgery.
Okay.
And the combination of that told me, you know what, Rachel, you need to now fix your weight. So
Got it.
that's when I went in to see Dylan. And I met the most wonderful, kind hearted person Dylan is. If nobody has never met Dylan, sorry that sounded like a double negative, but he is so amazing.
Yeah.
He, when I stepped in there, he had the big smile, the motivation, the go get it, Rachel, you got this. The
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
personality for Ideal Protein is in Dylan. That's
Yeah.
that's the face. And he said, Rachel, we're gonna get you started on the program. And then he said, but hey, what do you think about we're now doing the GLP-1s? Have you heard about it? I said, yeah, I heard about the injections and the Ozempics and the Wegovys and the Zepbounds. And,
Yeah.
they're expensive. You hear the stories.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know what? Tell me about it. So he gave me his story and told me how great they are, how well they go along with the protein. Because he explained to me that with the GLP-1s, a lot of people using it alone, they're losing their muscle. Their muscles
Yep.
are going to waste, and they really need to eat more protein, high
Uh-huh.
quality protein. And
Right.
I said, it sounds like they were meant to go together. They were a marriage to me, made to go together. The
Yeah.
GLP-1s with Ideal Protein. They're meant to go together. While you're on the GLP-1, you have a fantastic diet program, which is the products that you see back here included, which has the highest quality protein that the body is good for maintaining your muscle mass, maintaining your body and keeping your appetite where it should be, along with the GLP-1 medications, which are designed to help with hunger, appetite, and
Yep.
also with your hypothalamus in the way that you think about food and those food noises that you
Yeah.
have. That's what the GLP-1 medication actually did for me. Everything Dylan told me, that's exactly how it happened. I
Yeah.
started in January. I started December, but I started the together with the Ideal Protein and the GLP-1s in January. So it's been about 10 months now. And I
Okay.
can tell you from my own experience, my choice to choose GLP-1 drugs with the Ideal Protein, I will never look back. It was the best decision I ever made. I wish I can tell all people who are doing GLP-1 drugs, go, run and find you an Ideal Protein place
Yep.
and get on the program. If you
So,
can, oh, go ahead.
yep. So yeah, you're
Mhm.
running away with like the entire show,
Oh,
right? We
time
talked
out,
about that,
Rachel.
right? I've got this out. I've
Yeah,
got this
yeah,
outline, and
yeah,
you're done, right? Thank
yeah.
you for coming, Rachel. It's been really great.
Right?
No,
No, let's
no,
keep it going.
no. I want to, because I do. I want to slow down and I want to unpack a lot of this stuff,
Oh,
right?
yes,
Because
please do.
this
Mhm,
is the narrative out there. This is there's been hysteria over the
mhm.
past year and a half, almost 2 years now, when these medications first really hit the market.
Yeah,
And the challenge of it is, again, the challenge of it is people feel like, oh, just give me the drug.
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to lose weight. Oh, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be so, I'm not going to be hungry. And
Mhm,
the weight's going to fall off, et cetera, et cetera.
mhm.
And we've seen that that's not actually the case.
Correct.
People, and like you said, people that do simply decide to take the medication and not address the nutrition aspect of it.
Mhm.
Um, they seem to be the people, if they do lose weight, because not everybody does. I know plenty of people who have taken the medication and really not lost any weight.
Mhm.
But what ends up happening is if they are losing a significant amount of weight, that a lot of that weight is muscle mass,
Mhm.
right?
It is. Mhm.
And muscle is so important to us in two different reasons. Number
Mhm.
one, because muscle dictates metabolism, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Muscle is metabolically active tissue that burns calories 24 hours a day. And when we
Absolutely.
look at somebody's in body and we
Mhm.
see how many pounds of muscle they have, and then we get to look at their basal metabolic rate, that calorie number there, right?
Correct. Mhm.
The number of calories it takes to keep you alive in 24 hours is
Mhm.
predicated primarily on how much muscle you have on your body.
That's right.
And if we take a significant portion of that away, then it
Mhm.
takes less calories to keep you alive.
That's right.
And that's where weight regain comes in a heartbeat,
Yeah.
right?
You got it.
And, and
You
so
got
studies have shown up to 40% of weight loss on straight GLP-1 without nutritional help is muscle mass. And we don't want that to
wow.
happen. Yeah,
40%. Wow.
40%. And the second aspect, you just touched upon this, and this is what I wanted to bring back to geriatric care, right?
Oh, yes.
How how many of those people are, like you said, returning to
Mhm.
being a child and needing help because they can't do things for themselves because they're frail, they don't have the strength.
Correct.
It's hard for them to get up out of bed, to get up out of the chair, to go to the bathroom, to walk, to all of
Mhm.
those things, right? And that's because number one, naturally, we start to lose muscle mass as we age anyway.
I agree.
So we do not want to accelerate that process at all.
Correct. And I don't know the exact science on it, but I do know that after a certain age, I don't know if it's 50 or 60, you lose so many pounds of muscle
Yep.
every year after that.
Yep.
That
Yep.
that's a lot. So if you don't
Yep.
keep your muscle now and then you turn 50, 60, or 70, you
Right.
won't have anything left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, so the key to that is making sure that you're
mhm.
prioritizing protein while if you're on the GLP-1 medication,
Absolutely.
right?
I'm glad
I
you
know.
turned back to that. That was perfect because protein is the key factor. Talking about ideal protein and putting them both together, the protocol with the GLP-1 drugs and nutrition are a perfect companion. I love
Yeah.
that it's said to be a companion. They're meant to go together, hand in
Yeah.
hand. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the other thing that we want to point out, the difference in our products, right? Our
Yes.
products start with highly absorbable, easily usable proteins. We use what's called protein isolates.
Ah,
And
yes.
protein, what that means actually is that they are already somewhat pre-digested, if you will.
Mhm.
So it doesn't take a whole lot for your
Mhm.
body to go ahead and digest
Mhm.
and use those right away.
Yes. Mhm. Now, also, you were the protein is also scientifically formulated so that not only does it digest properly, but you don't feel it. People can eat it and it's tasty. It's not the nasty protein that
Right?
that you get from over the counter. This protein is made in different forms so
Yeah.
that people would love to enjoy to eat it. That's what I
Yeah.
like about ideal protein as well. Is
Yeah.
mhm.
I what I like to say is we meet people where they are with ideal protein and we guide
Yes.
them to where we should be, right?
Mhm.
The overarching narrative out there today is we need to do something about our pantry that's full of highly processed addictive foods, right?
Correct. Hmm.
But if Dylan said, "Oh, Rachel, you can do this. We'll take the medication and you'll eat chicken and broccoli all day long every day," would you say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm in. That sounds great."
Maybe
Right?
just for like a week or two.
I know, right? Like, literally, it would be like, "Can I make it 7 days doing this? I don't think
Exactly.
so," right? And
Not.
so that's why it's so amazing to have this catalog of I think we've got 70 different products right now. This
Yeah.
catalog of protein-based foods like oatmeal that people are used to having. right?
Mhm.
Like tortilla chips that people are used to
Yeah.
having, so that we can have these things. It feels comfortable to us,
Mhm.
and they're small packages, right? So
Exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
with the GLP-1, you don't have a whole lot of appetite, and that's why people don't choose protein,
Correct.
whole proteins, because
Mhm.
they choose things that won't necessarily fill them up
That's a
as
good point. They're full.
right?
Yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
true. And the ideal protein is it has packages that are easy to eat. And they're packed with protein in it. That's what I
yep,
feel is the best. Also, as well as how they're packaged. That
yeah,
is true. I never thought about that because you're right. When you're taking a GLP-1, you do have that suppressed appetite, and to just sit there and think you got to sit there and eat a whole thing of a piece of steak,
right,
you're
right,
like, wow, I got to get through this. you
yeah,
know, yeah.
right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally
And
agree.
so that said, let's just dive in there a little bit.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite ideal protein
Oh
foods?
my goodness, you
Mhm.
would ask. I have so many because I've tried different things because of people recommendations. But I
Yeah,
would say my favorite. I love that buttered popcorn. That popcorn. Oh my,
number
because
one answer.
it is. You can take it anywhere. Snacks, both any time of the day to
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
yeah.
The other one that I like is the spicy queso chips. Those are pretty good. You can crunch those up or just eat them individually. Sprinkle them over a salad. Sprinkle them. You can do anything with them.
You
The
know, I think that they're a
oh,
sleeper product, because
they are.
not many people understand the spicy queso chips. They're kind of like they go past them. They don't know we
Yeah.
have them, and I
Mhm.
think I love the little kick.
They
Right, I love
do.
that spicy little kick.
I
Yeah,
agree. It's really good. My other thing is I love the wafers. Wafers are quick and I mean you can't go wrong with some wafers. But those new double chocolate brownies, those will get you in trouble. So be careful with the double chocolate brownies. So,
we talked about that before, right? Maybe once a week, maybe,
yeah, it's only like once or twice a week. That's it.
maybe. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Maybe. I
You know,
agree, but those are
we kinda like to hold those back from our people, until phase 2 or 3, so they've
I
got
agree that just
a
started.
new treat when they get there, right? Something to look forward to.
Exactly.
Yeah, because wow,
Yeah. And the
they're
water
amazing.
enhancers are great for if you're not into drinking a lot of water. I love the water enhancers and
Yep,
the
yep,
vanilla protein drink. You can put that
yep.
in iced coffee.
There you
And
go.
yeah, you gotta mix it up. That's what you gotta do.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like I said, this should be fun. We make it fun for people. We meet them with things that kind of some of the comfort foods, the comfort, my
Mhm.
Starbucks coffee, etc. You know,
Yes,
we make it so that you're not too far away from those, but it's
mhm,
ultimately so much healthier,
correct. I agree.
right?
Wow. Well, I'm so
Yeah.
glad that they have different varieties, especially for different people. That's why I never say as a health coach which one is my favorite. I always say, hey, well, try it out and let me know.
Yeah.
Because you may not like what I like, you know.
Yeah, we
So,
talked about that too, right? You know, some people, their favorite soup is somebody else's. Ugh, I can't
yeah,
even. I
exactly.
won't do that again, right? And somebody
Like,
else absolutely
we
loves it, and
love
they're
it.
like, "Doc, where did it go? Where's the soup?"
Exactly.
Right?
Why is there no more of that? Yeah, exactly.
So this brings up another situation that we talked about with the combination of ideal protein and GLP-1,
Yes.
and why people's experience might be different if they do them together.
Oh,
A lot of people taking the medications complain horrible side effects,
oh, yes.
especially nausea and vomiting and just generally feeling yucky. And have you had that?
No, and the reason why is because just like you said, let's go back to the ideal protein. Side effects for the GLP-1 is that you get nausea, you get stomach cramps, and so forth. But I believe those side effects are due to the fact that you're not eating properly. You're not eating healthy, clean foods, nutritious food. Once again, you're not teaching yourself how to eat properly. You're still living that fat. Um, Processed food diet. So you're going
Yeah.
to get the side effects because of that. But when you make a companion with GLP-1 and the ideal protein, you got good quality foods, you have high nutrition, is scientifically um, based, and is like you said, was the absorbable protein that we
Yep.
use.
Yep.
That high quality mixed with the GLP-1 drugs will allow you not to have those side effects
Yeah.
that everybody else has, because
Yeah.
we're eating and we're changing the way that our body eats, say along with the medication. The medication should be a tool. It should be a help that you use as you change your lifestyle into better eating. That's
Yeah.
what these two companions are supposed to do on your weight loss journey, your journey to healing your
Yeah.
body. This is a healing process. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I love how you say that.
mm,
It's I like to describe it, the difference in the Ideal Protein program is we're not trying to lose weight to get healthy. We're
correct.
actually getting healthy so that we can lose the proper weight, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny. I've got a client who is being very successful with the combination of using the medication and using Ideal Protein. She had been struggling trying to get back into Ideal Protein before, and now
Mhm.
she feels real good about that.
Good.
She went on a vacation
Hmm.
and thought that she was gonna, well, I'm on vacation. I'm gonna have a little of this and a little of that. And man, she said, I barely got it down before I got nauseous and I started throwing up.
That's
And she
right.
said she had not had, any problems with that, and started it reintroducing some sugar and
Mhm.
et cetera. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, doc, it was amazing to me."
Mhm.
It was the night and day difference.
Absolutely. And I tell a lot of people this all the time. The GLP-1 will let you know when you're not eating something right.
I love that. Yeah, I absolutely love that.
Yeah, because some people think I can take this GLP-1. I say, okay, well, go have you something fat, greasy, and fat. You're gonna be sick the next day. You're gonna get that dumping syndrome. You're gonna get that acid reflux. Your
Yeah,
stomach's gonna groan. It's gonna be bad.
yeah.
And and that's what GLP-1. GLP-1 is quick to remind you that you're eating wrong. That's why I tell people all the time, those side effects is because of you. It's because you're not changing your lifestyle. You're not changing
Wow.
the way you eat. So you got to come
Yeah.
into ideal protein. Ha!
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Another thing,
Mhm,
okay, another reason why, and again, I talk about this is a
mhm.
protocol, it's not a diet, right?
Correct. Yes.
And when as a nurse, you understand when you have a medical protocol that is to be followed, it
Mhm.
means that we're doing two or three different things simultaneously
That's
to
right.
achieve those results, right? And so part of this is taking the nutritional supplements.
That's right.
Right? And one of the biggest other major concerns with people who are merely taking the medication to lose weight and not
Mhm.
addressing anything nutritionally is mineral deficiencies and vitamin
Right.
deficiencies. You
Mhm.
know, their nutrition probably wasn't great going into it, but now it's even worse. And so, vitamin and mineral deficient and electrolyte deficiencies are real. And
Absolutely.
that is something that we absolutely address fully.
We
And
do.
right?
You can see all my vitamins right behind me.
Yeah, right.
You got to replace all your magnesium, your potassium,
Yeah.
vitamin D, omega 3s. All of those things are going to be at a deficiency when you're going through a protocol. So, therefore, while we're doing ideal protein and doing GLP-1, we need to make sure that we have our vitamins. We need to
Yeah.
make sure that we follow that protocol, make sure we're taking them as the ideal protocol addresses. And while we're losing weight, we're maintaining all of those balances,
Yeah.
as we know, as our components, our electrolytes. We keep them
Yep.
balanced while we're on the protocol.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's designed to complete all of the RDAs for all of the nutrients that we need to keep us healthy. In
Absolutely.
fact, drugs are not. A lot of people who come to the program to lose weight, they
Mhm.
feel so much better because their body is finally getting vitamins and
They
nutrients.
are. And you know what? Now that you mention that, it is true. That's something that I didn't bring up yesterday, I mean, the other day. But I would agree. I started taking more vitamins on this program than I probably have in my whole life. Well,
Yeah.
except for when I was pregnant. We had to take the prenatal vitamins,
Right,
but
right.
but these vitamins probably the most I've taken, and that is why we feel good because we are getting the vitamins that our body needs. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, you started the protocol, you started
mhm.
to lose weight, and
Yes.
lo tell us, how much weight have you lost at this
Well, I
point?
would
Because I
say
think,
as of today,
people
when
don't
I
know
got on the
necessarily that you're st yeah?
I'm still losing. I'm on phase one. I'm down 65 pounds. I weighed myself
Yeah,
today, and my goal was 70. So I'm very close
okay.
to my goal. I'll be going into phase two, and I'm excited about it. It's a good transition for me. You saw the before and after picture.
Ah, I brought
It's
it
like
back up because
I will tell you that you can see the difference in how my smile is, my skin, how bright I am, how happy I am. If you The difference is right in the picture. There's the
it
proof
really
of the
is.
pudding is right there.
Well, so
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
want you at this stage to it's a great segue to speak
Mhm.
to your concept that losing weight is healing.
Correct.
It's not just physical healing.
Mhm.
Talk to us about that.
So the reason why I say it's healing is because when you're eating and you're overweight, you're sad, you're depressed, you're weighed down, you have a lack of energy. You feel like you can't do anything. It's more healing mentally, emotionally, physically. When you're healing and repairing everything that fell apart. All of
Yeah,
the times that you then gave yourself processed food, too much sugar, and you're turning your body and you're reforming it. You're
yeah,
replacing the bad with the good. You're now seeing your skin glow. Your skin starts to look different. Your
yeah,
body starts to feel good both from the inside through the out. You can
yeah,
start seeing the result reflecting outside. You see that I start to smile more. I'm
yep,
more outdoors. I'm exercising just like you did that 70 and a
yeah,
half miles, the Ironman. That energy came from your weight loss, from that healing within. That
yeah,
healing that, hey, I don't have to sit on the couch anymore. I now can get up and go and use my body, the purpose
yeah.
that it was for anyway. So that's the healing that I'm talking about. You're healing both physically, mentally, and emotionally.
So, the other really fascinating thing that happened, and this happens quite a bit
Mhm.
in the ideal protein world, or what I call ideal protein nation.
Uh-huh.
Successful clients, they get so inspired if they see an opportunity, or if an opportunity is offered to them,
Mhm.
they become an ideal protein coach, which is exactly what you're doing now, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, when Dylan asked me, I was like, me? You have so many clients. Why would you choose me? He was like, it's just Rachel, you just got that personality. He
Yeah,
said, people are gonna want to talk to you. You are a nurse, you've been around people, you just have it. He said, I just when I first met you,
yeah,
I think you will be a great part of this company, part of Ideal Protein, a good face. People
yeah,
want to come to you and talk about their journey.
yeah,
You're that relatable. They need somebody that's relatable, that's done the GLP-1s, that's done the Ideal Protein, that then lost the weight.
yeah.
That's what people want. They want somebody that they can relate to. And so,
You know, that's the thing. To me, it doesn't matter your degree or, book knowledge, et cetera, et cetera. If you
mhm,
haven't had personal experience doing
exactly.
it, you you can't connect to me, the client who is
Mhm.
going through this, like you said,
Yeah,
physically, mentally, and emotionally, right?
yeah.
I think what it said is, they don't care what you know until
Mhm.
they know that you care,
Oh, I like that. I like
right?
it. Yeah, I
Right? And
love that.
that's
Mhm.
and that comes, we get that heart of compassion because when you see that client sitting in the chair for the first time, you know exactly where they are,
You do. You
right?
do.
And you get so excited because you know what's possible for
We
them.
do. I do get excited because when I see them and they come see me and I said, we got this.
Yeah.
You came to the right place. Every
Right?
time I tell I say,
Right?
you're in the right place. I got
Yeah.
you. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I like to tell them. Yes.
Yeah, well, like I said, I see why Dylan chose you.
Mhm.
And, a lot of times, as clinic owners,
Mhm.
we can spot the coach when they walk in,
I see. Y'all got that secret. I see. Y'all
right?
got
Right? Yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Of course.
I know that the show is going to be very valuable and important for so many people, like I said, who have questions, concerns, who are struggling in
Mhm.
their GLP-1 journey, and they're wondering why it is they can't lose weight, why they feel so terrible, and what
Yes.
they can do to actually make this work.
Mhm.
So thank you, thank you. Are any last comments or any last advice for somebody?
I would say if you're nervous and you're scared to do GLP-1s and you want to go through that weight loss journey, just do it. What do you have to lose except for the weight? It's about healing, is an investment, and trust me, you will succeed. You will be successful, especially if you have the companions of both GLP-1s and Ideal Protein. You will definitely be successful in your healing journey.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rachel. I'm going to put you backstage, hang out back
Okay.
there so that we can talk later, and
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna wrap this show up.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's absolutely been my pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, I think that you can tell the message of this program is that if you're going to make the choice to use a GLP-1 for your weight loss as a tool to get you going, the absolute best nutritional companion is the Ideal Protein Protocol. So if you're out there and you're hearing this show, you're watching it, find a clinic near you. And if you can't, then go to idealprotein.com and they will find a clinic for you. We've got a brand new website up there. It looks really pretty amazing. A lot of people did a lot of work on that. If you're just curious, go look at the website. All kinds of great stuff up there. So until next time, I've got a queue of guests lined up that will knock your socks off. We've got some really great guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. So until then, like I always say, keep reaching for your life possible.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Life Possible podcast, where we unlock the power of metabolic health to fuel your best life. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and download the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if this message resonated with you, share it to someone who needs to hear it. Let's spread the power of life possible together. For more inspiration, insights, and exclusive content, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in. Keep striving, keep thriving, and remember, your best life is within reach.